Stephen and Georgia have been best friends since middle school. They share everything with each other. And on this day, Stephen confides to Georgia a problem he has only recently come to terms with in himself.
Hey, can I talk to you for a minute about something that's been bothering me?
Of course, what's up?
Do you remember last soccer season when I tore my ACL?
Yeah, it was awful. You still have that gnarly scar from the surgery and everything?
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for the daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere.
Well, the doctor gave me some pills to help with the pain and recovery.
Well, I'm really glad they helped you. You were in so much pain.
But the funny thing is, over time I started to enjoy the feeling that the pills gave me.
What do you mean? What kind of feeling?
When I would take the pills, I wouldn't feel stressed over school, or not being able to play sports, or my parents' constant arguing. The pills just make me feel good, and when I don't take them, my life feels worse than ever.
I don't understand.
Stephen was prescribed Percocet, a common opiate after a routine surgery. Stephen did have real physical pain that needed relief from a drug that was stronger than any drugstore medication. What Stephen didn't know was that Percocet, like other opioids, have a high rate of addiction and physical dependence. He began taking the pills to relieve physical pain, but over the time his body began craving the Percocet in order for him to feel okay in his daily life. Without the Percocets, his body would experience a form of withdrawal, even if Stephen didn't realize it at the time. Withdrawal occurs when a person abruptly stops using an addictive substance or begins to reduce the dosage of an addictive substance. When Stephen couldn't take a Percocet, he would experience body aches, terrible headaches, nausea, involuntary tremors or shaking, and anger or irritability. The physical side effects of withdrawal are very real and painful, but there are psychological and emotional components to dependency as well.
Yeah, I know it's hard for me to understand too, but I feel like my body and brain can't work without the Percocets.
How'd you get these drugs?
Well, my doctor kept refilling my prescription as long as I told her I was still feeling pain, but after a while that stopped working. So I started taking some of my mom's before buying them for my kid for 10 a pill, and I've been doing that since summer.
I can't believe this. How could I not have known? It just seemed like you were a more mellow version of yourself, and you act, but you don't act or look like an addict.
Yeah, but I think I'm dependent on the Percocet now, and I don't know what to do to stop, or who to talk to about it.
Emotional or psychological dependency. If a person is prone to anxiety, depression, isolation, loneliness, or unresolved stress, they are more likely to develop a physical or emotional dependency on a drug that they are psychologically addicted to. Addictive substances can relieve the self of trouble, negative emotions, and oppressive thoughts.
Well, I'm glad you're talking to me, although I may not understand, but I love and support you, and I hope to get you what you need. We can start by talking to a counselor together and see if she can help us figure out a plan for recovery with professionals.
Will you really go with me to talk to her? I'm so embarrassed. I've kept this secret for so long.
You won't be doing this alone, I promise you.
We need to battle addiction together. Dr. Bruce Alexander scientifically proved that to beat addiction and dependency, we can't just isolate and imprison the addicts. Doctors in the early 20th century put rats in isolated cages and gave them one water bottle with heroin or cocaine mixed into it, and one water bottle filled with normal water. Every time, the isolated rat became dependent of the heroin, and many of them overdosed. But Dr. Bruce Alexander wanted to know what would happen if he put the rat in with a bunch of other rats and toys in a nice environment, which he called Rat Park. And he gave them heroin water and normal water to choose from. And the rats in his situation never got dependent, and they barely ever used the heroin water. This shows that we can't just isolate our addicts and send them to prison where they aren't happy or thriving. We need to give our addicts a chance and help them break their dependency with caring, appreciation, and love. We now know addiction is never just physical. There are emotional and psychological aspects that play into the vulnerability of dependency.